October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you can help raise money for research through a fundraising walk that's happening this Saturday.
That's right. It's hosted by the American Cancer Society, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer organization. Today, we're going to be sitting down with members of the executive leadership team. They're also survivors. Roxanne, Cora, Susan, and Anissa. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, Roxanne, tell us about the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk and why it's such an important event.
Well, we are so excited. We are having our annual walk tomorrow. It is at Gaswork Parks, and it starts at 10 a.m. But you should really come early if you want to, because we have some wonderful vendors and machines, different things happening that are fun. Take pictures. The thing that is really important, though, is you can come by yourself. You might say, oh, I don't have a team, and what would I do? We're going to embrace you, and we would love to have you come. And then you don't need to even make donations ahead of time. You can just come and we'll just walk you through it. We'd love to have you come.
That is so beautiful. And Anissa, this question is for you. You know, this is a celebration of hope for survivors and thrivers, which is a term I recently learned, which is somebody that's currently living with breast cancer. So what does it feel for you to be a part of all of this? And I love all your sashes, by the way.
Thank you. Yes. I love that you called it a celebration, because it really is. Our walk is a non-competitive 5K, and it's really an opportunity for the community to come together and celebrate, like you said, survivors, thrivers, caregivers. I think breast cancer is something that most people have been touched by, whether it's you, your family, your coworkers, friends. So it's really an opportunity for the community to come together, celebrate, and also pay homage to those who have passed as well.
Absolutely. I want to get to know each of your stories a little bit. So Susan, tell us about your experience and how you overcame breast cancer.
Okay, so in 2015, I was due for my mammogram, and I didn't have family here, and my dad was flying in from Florida for my son's high school graduation. So I said, hey, Dad, would you drive me to my mammogram? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So we went and had my mammogram, and then on the day of my son's graduation, I got a phone call that said, we want some more views. And I wasn't really worried, because I had been diagnosed with fibrocystic breast disease about 20 years ago, which is a dense buildup of tissue in your breasts. So we went back in. They were like, oh, we don't like what we see on the mammogram, on the MRIs, so let's do a biopsy in 2 weeks. I said, no, let's do a biopsy right now.
Yeah.
And so we did. And then 2 days later at 4:45 p.m. on a Friday, I got a phone call that said, oh, you have cancer. Happy weekend. So did a lot of research over the weekend, tried to figure out what I was going to do. I had surgery, a lumpectomy, 6 weeks of radiation, about 2 weeks after that, and have been cancer-free since. And I did my first Making Strides Against Cancer walk 3 days after I finished radiation for the first time.
Good for you.
I think that what you said there really speaks to the importance of finding the will and the strength to speak for yourself.
Absolutely.
When you are, you know, in the hospital or receiving care. And Roxanne, you actually a survivor as well. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how the American Cancer Society helped you.
Well, like Susan, my breast cancer was found through a mammogram. However, I wasn't very surprised, because I came from a long line of breast cancer and ovarian cancer people, both sides of my family. So I really wasn't too concerned about it. But unlike you, they called me, and within an hour I was at the doctor's office. So I was very grateful for the information. My journey really was impacted by American Cancer Society, because I really didn't know what was ahead and what steps to take. And the first thing that I got to participate in was a class called Look Good, Feel Better, which was a hair, makeup, and skin class. And to be honest, I went for the makeup, because I knew it was a lot of really good stuff. But when I got there, I found other people who had also been diagnosed with some form of cancer in the past 3 months. And it truly was the first place that I felt I identified with someone, and they got me. Because everybody has something to tell you, everybody has a story, and you're like really not concerned about that. So that class was really instrumental, along with, they had a volunteer room that people came, and every time that you were in chemo, they offered you all kinds of community resources and blankets and things. So I had 7 months of chemo, and 10 surgeries. And then I have been cancer-free for about 8 years.
Oh my
Congratulations.
gosh. And it sounds like community really helped you there.
It really
Anissa, tell me about kind of when you joined the organization and what kind of programs you've been a part of.
I joined Making Strides on the ELT team about 2 years ago, and I found Making Strides when I got diagnosed at the age of 37, and being under 40, that kind of catapults you into a different category, and you learn about your genetic, you get genetic testing, which is where I found out that I had the BRC, the BRCA2 gene mutation, which everyone has the gene, it's just whether or not yours is mutated or not. And so through that, I was looking for community and a lot of information, which is where I found Making Strides, the American Cancer Society's website, cancer.org, and through that, joined my first walk. I created a team, and we had a lot of fun, and I just kept doing it year after year, and luckily was asked to join some of these amazing women and help put it on every year. But the one thing I think you asked about programs that I personally love, and one of the things that the American Cancer Society really does is advocates for health equity. And so one of the things that I had to do for myself, and I think it's been mentioned here before, is advocating for yourself when you go to the doctors. I found my lump. I had to, push to get it kind of investigated by my primary care doctor, and then from there continue. And as a Black woman, I have an exponentially higher risk of dying from breast cancer than a white woman, even though we have lower risks of it actually getting breast cancer. Wow. And so one of the things that the American Cancer Society is working on is health equity, because they do believe that no one should die from a cancer just because of their race or their zip code.
Yeah.
And so that's something I really believe strongly in.
That's really important.
Wonderful. And Cora, let's hear from you. We should say that Carly and I know Cora.
Yeah.
She was there at the Taylor Swift concert with us. But I want to know, what is the biggest thing that you learned throughout your journey, and what would you say to somebody who's still kind of in the middle of things?
Okay, well, you know what, it's funny because I was diagnosed during the pandemic.
Oh.
So I was going into all of my doctor's appointments alone with my partner over the phone, over speakerphone, but really it felt like I was doing a ton of this stuff on my own. So I would say that the biggest thing that I learned is how incredible the human body is, how strong we can be when it's needed, and how brave we have to be.
Yeah, definitely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you all so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having
It's been amazing, yeah. There's still time to sign up for the Making Strides Walk on Saturday. You can also donate online. We've posted more information on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
It was just an honor to hear all of your stories. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have fun at the walk.
Yeah.
Thank you.